It's Texas Tiger Diggs again, and I did a test on the Nocta Force core. Several silver objects. I'm going to run the same silver objects past this Safari. Now, I don't think this is going to be as telling as the Nocta Force core, because like I tell you, the Safari was a very well crippled machine. It is functionally as powerful as the E-Track, but there were a lot of compromises made in its calculation, in its targeting, and in its numbering scheme. That means it's a much weaker machine in many ways. In my opinion, the E-Track is science over art, and using the Safari well is probably art over science, an art which I have not come close to mastering. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a set of targets. I got a couple of men's chunky rings. They're very thin, like homemade beaten silver ring, a small Star of David ring, and a couple of other small rings, and an earring, and the old nickel. And I'm going to sort of get an idea of what they're going to read. Of course, the Safari is so much different because of its FBS. I'm not sure if this is going to be as telling as it would be, as it was with the Nocta Force core, but it's snowing. Very rare occasion in Texas. There's going to be snowing tomorrow. Now it's just ice out there. So I got some things to do, and I think this might help me out some. And if it helps me out 3%, that'd be great. So I'm just going to run a nickel in front of here first, and here we go. Plain old traditional nickel. And let's see what I get here. Looks like I'm getting about a 15, and it's a very solid 15. You know, unlike what you would get in the ground, you might get 15 in a range according to how deep it is. But I'm going to do the little Star of David ring with the little hanging Star of David, and let's see. This is a sterling silver ring, by the way. $38, $39, even going up to the hated 40. I'll tell you why the 40 is hated in a minute. This is a very chunky men's silver ring. It should also get up there pretty high with them. Now the chunky silver ring is a dead 37. The only thing I can figure is the little hanging star on the Star of David ring was giving it a little bit of an extra uncertainty. And like I said, that uncertainty is one of the things a little bit frustrating, and which also acknowledges the greatness of the machine in that it can tell very subtle differences. This is another men's chunky silver ring, a little bit larger maybe, but a little bit thinner. And let's see if it also gets that 37. Dead on 37. All right, now it really was good, because I wouldn't have thought of a 37 as being a silver ring before. I would have been thought it would ring pretty much like a clad quarter, and a clad quarter usually comes out at about at higher than that. And this is a very red dug clad quarter, and I'm gonna try to put that in and take a look at how much it reads compared to the silver I've seen. Very interesting. The clad quarter actually shows up, and I'm going to take the silver ring again, at least mostly one notch above either one of the chunky silver rings. So that's very interesting. So higher is not always better. Once we get back, and this is a very thin, and it's like almost a homemade beaten silver ring, but it does have a sterling symbol in it, so it almost would seem like a aluminum ring, but it is heavier, and it does read sterling, but it's very thin. Let's see what it gives me. Wow, that's a weird one. I don't even know how to categorize that. That'll take some further study. All right, now I'm just going to take the earring, one of my finds where I actually could even, the maker's mark told me the name of the maker and that he passed in the 60s. So this could very well be an early 20th century design. I wish I had both, but I have one of the earrings here. So here you go. Let me try this. This is also silver, hallmarked at least. That's sort of jumping all over the place, but it's not round. It's an irregular shape. So, but it's all over the 30 range. So now I know that when I get those wide range of 30 signals, there's a chance I still might be digging something of value. And let's look at the teeny tiny baby ring with the B on it, probably meaning boy. It's probably also at least the first half of the 20th century. It has to be because it's not marked sterling. It's marked with a hallmark and some other indications, so it could put it in the early part of the 20th century, late part of the 19th century. So let me try this. See, that's dead solid. So again, it's that circular form, I believe, which makes it stable. And here's another silver ring, one with a little jewel of some kind. I don't know. I would assume it might be a little ruby, but or another red gem. I'm not really a gem expert, so let me try that one. Wow, it's up around 38, 39. Oh, cool. It's up in the quarter range. So the quarter range is slightly before can still be silver. And here we go, the mighty chain. I'm going to do it first this way. I'm just going to swing it in front, just like a pendulum. And let's see what we get. It jumped around a while, but it's pretty solid at 31. Now I'm just, now I'm going to be using it just in a pile here. I'm just going to put it in my hand in a pile and put it in front of the... And it's all the way up there and some into the 30s. That's not unusual for a chain. It looks like the lack of continuity in its size and shape drives some detectors crazy. It did the same thing with the Nocta Force core. All right, let's finish our series of tests with the 10 karat gold ring, and let's just see what it reads in the Safari. Dead on the 31, 32, so that's more reason to dig that zinc range, which is in those low 30s. I actually did block out the zinc range for a while. I was just tired of digging zinc pennies, but now I know that a 32 does not always have to be a zinc, so that sort of improves my ability to control my tendency to occasionally, very rarely, as I am a jewelry hunter, turn discrimination up. In any case, so that was my little test, and it really was handy. It really was interesting to know that these very big silver rings here, look at that, at a 37, were not necessarily a higher conductor than this very tarnished, or not tarnished, I don't know what you call it, this very dirty quarter, which can go up to a 38 or so. So, you know, it's a little bit different. And I know I'll use that for some more information, but I think it might be relatively interesting because I haven't seen too many people do this kind of test with the Safari, and I've watched a lot of Safari videos. It doesn't mean I might not have missed a few, but I thought that would be interesting. And you know, so for what it is, that's not bad. But like I said, the Safari is a crippled machine. It is an E-track without the processing power, etc. Because they had to make sure that 33% jump in price, or 50% from 1,000 to 1,500 would be justifiable. Not justifiable to me, but I do understand why you would make that choice. And if I did, and I was focused on machines that without range to price, probably would get an E-Track, because it's just it gives a more focused look. But I think it's going to be fun trying to see how much I can get out of the Safari, and I've got a pretty good roundup from a couple of days with the Safari and some very beaten parts, just to show the Safari does do a darn good job. I'm not saying the E-Track couldn't do better, but it would have to go some to do better. Anyway, this is Texas Tiger Digs, and I'm finished with this, and I'll probably be posting this in a few hours or so. So, you know, it'd be staring out the door at the ice and the future snow that they said possibly could be ahead. Anyway, I'll talk to you later, and you have a wonderful day.